Tonight we are here at MedEvac's Dispatch Center at UPMC Presbyterian Hospital in Oakland. Tonight we're taking you on a tour of the facilities. I've already started my tour, and you can see I'm already part of the action. Stay with us. Feedback starts now. Well, that is a look at the Children's and UPMC helipad here in Oakland. Right now we are standing on the roof of UPMC Presbyterian Hospital in Oakland, and today we're taking a tour of MedEvac's Dispatch Center. We took you on a tour of the helicopter up in Clarion. Well, now we came here. Yeah, it's a little warm and it's in the summer, you may see. We did this a little bit early, but right behind these windows and these doors is where MedEvac's Dispatch Center is. We're going to take a tour of that. So come on back and join us after the break. We're going inside to take a tour of MedEvac's Dispatch. I'm going in to start the tour right now. Stay with us. Feedback continues after the break.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Fox's Pizza Den. Fox's Pizza Den is located on Old Route 66 in Clarion and offers all-day delivery. Phone 226-5555. That's 226-5555. Fox's Pizza Den is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Phone 226-5555.
Wardrobe for some TV5 news anchors provided by Fashion Bug, located in the Clarion Mall. Whether you're looking for junior trendy, girls, or fashion for women, they have it all, with many different styles. Fashion Bug also offers a wide selection of accessories. Fashion Bug is located in the Clarion Mall, just off of Exit 9 of Interstate 80. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m., and Sunday from noon till 5.
This portion of the program was made possible through a grant from Clarion Hospital. Clarion Hospital is located off of Exit 9 of Interstate 80. Clarion Hospital offers outpatient services, transitional care, as well as an emergency room open around the clock every day of the year. More than 400 employees and 80 physicians work to serve the community. Call the Clarion Hospital at 226-9500. Clarion Hospital, providing health care to Clarion County and surrounding communities since 1954.
Every year, people who care about the world's children trick-or-treat for UNICEF. This is how we do it. Hi, I'm NBA basketball player, Vlade Divac. The money we collect buys medicine, clean water, nutrition, and education. It saves kids' lives. This October, wherever you go, wherever you are, take the box. Call 1-800-252-KIDS or visit www.unicefusa.org.
So we're here in MedEvac's dispatch called StatCom, correct? Okay, we're here with Dave from MedEvac, and kind of give us a tour, get us our bearings in here. What are we seeing all around here, and what's going on in here?
Okay, well, directly in front of you, we have three positions on dispatch positions on the console, and these gentlemen primarily dealing with the helicopters today. We have 8 helicopters based throughout western Pennsylvania, one up in Cleveland, Ohio that we dispatch, and also one in Baltimore, Maryland.
Those are dispatched from here?
Correct. All of our consoles are identical, so no matter which position they're working at, they can help each other out or work independently as needed. We have networked computer-based programs that allow us to find the closest aircraft to whoever needs it, and tell us who they are so we can get them dispatched quickly. And then just a bunch of demographic information and record-keeping information in the remainder of the programs.
So, to kind of take me through what happens, this is where a call is going to come in, right? How does that happen? Who calls for the helicopter, and then what happens once you're called?
We get calls from any number of people, from hospitals to county 911 centers to police agencies. They'll call us on either a local 10-digit number now or a toll-free number, tell us who they are, where they need the helicopter at, and then that's when the computer program starts to find them the closest helicopter.
Okay.
If it is a hospital, and Bob is going through a little demonstration here, and he's just happened to use Clarion Hospital. Our database gives us the 10 closest aircraft to Clarion Hospital.
Now that's at this moment,
Pending
or
their-
generally?
In general,
Okay.
but at the bottom of the screen is where we have all the status of the aircraft,
Okay.
so that we know where they're at all times, and can dispatch them. MedEvac 6 that you see on top there is based at the hospital, so if they weren't available, then we would probably go down the list to get whoever they needed up there to help them.
Now I see Life Flight listed on there as well.
Yes.
Now that's Allegheny General, correct? So are you dispatching them, or why are they appearing on your computer system?
They have their own dispatching center, but they appear on our program because of where their bases are. As you see, Life Flight 4 at Butler Airport and Life Flight 3 at Indiana Hospital. Should, again, Clarion need the closest aircraft to be up there, we know that those two are in the vicinity and what kind of time frame they have to respond.
Okay. What's going on in this half of the room then? Is it the same thing?
Similar, again, with the consoles and the computer networking. John by himself right now is primarily responsible for Pittsburgh Medic Command. Again, a network-based computer program. We do primary command for the city of Pittsburgh, who has about 25 or 26 ambulances. They'll call us up on one of their med channels, tell us what they have so we can triage their calls. And then we'll hook them up with either a second or third year emergency medicine resident who's out in a response vehicle in case they're needed to go to a scene. And also Dr. Cole, who's sitting in his office today, will listen to the radios as their faculty backup. John will take down the information from the consults, and then he'll go ahead and call the hospital to let him know, let the hospital know what the medic unit's bringing in. And along with the city, we have probably about 5 or 6 other suburban ambulance services that we provide primary medical command for, as well as about another 24 or so that we provide backup command.
Okay. So, take me through. You guys get a call. Let's say, for instance, there's a bad car accident somewhere. Let's say in Clarion, and you get a phone call from Clarion County 911.
Correct.
What are they telling you? What's happening there? What's happening here?
Clarion 911 will call. They'll tell us who they are, obviously, and their dispatcher name or their number, whichever it happens to be. And they'll either request us go on standby or put MedEvac 6 or another aircraft in the air to this accident scene. As soon as that happens, then Bob or Gary or John will again start the computer to find out if MedEvac 6 is there or not there, who the closest aircraft to Clarion is. And then there's a procedure they go through to activate their tones and dispatch them on the radio, as well as they get alphanumeric messages through pagers that they carry to let them know that they need to respond.
One thing I've always been curious about, I live out in Elizabeth Township, and we see them landing every once in a while, and there's I'd say not within 2 or 3 miles, there's a couple different landing zones because I have a police scanner, so sometimes I hear, where they're setting it up. How are those things determined, or were those determined years ago where a landing zone is, and do you already have all that information in your computers?
We have most of them, and again, Bob's bringing us up an example here for the Elizabeth Bridge and different ones that we have in Elizabeth Township. Either somebody from EMS or fire or the municipality itself will contact our outreach people and say, hey, we've been calling the helicopter here a lot of times. We'd like to set up a regular place for them to land at.
Okay.
So what they'll do then is our outreach people will go around with them and say, okay, where do you want these landing zones? They'll have a handheld GPS with them, take the coordinates, and then on whatever kind of note paper they have, designate as Elizabeth Forward High School or whatever,
Okay.
so that when Mon Valley 911 calls us,
Right.
they can just say, I need an aircraft on standby for Elizabeth Forward High School.
Now,
Like
sometimes I hear them say something like, approach from this way, approach from that way. Is that all in your computers as well, or is that some?
Some of it is.
Okay.
One of the things that we need when we do go on a scene flight is who our ground contact is going to be, and that's generally a local fire department, and what frequency they're going to be on. When the aircraft usually gets maybe a mile or so out, or depending on weather conditions, etc., even a couple miles, they'll start looking for the scene, and when they see the congregation of emergency lighting there, they'll switch over to the ground frequency so that they can talk to the fire department and say, okay, we're 2 minutes out. Please let us know when you have an audible or visual on us. And when they get near the landing zone, I've actually heard the comment, hey, they flew right over us. Actually, what they're doing is a recon of the landing zone, so that they circle around once or twice, see if they can spot any hazards such as trees, utility wires or poles, etc. And along with what they see, talking to the ground contact to make sure, the LZ is set up here where the flares are. You have trees to your north, wires to your south, and then from there they can judge how they're going to go in and out of there.
So there's not really anything medical going on until they're on the ground, correct?
Correct. We at the time that they get dispatched, we will know usually if it's someone who fell or was a vehicle accident, depending on some of the rural areas, maybe a logging accident or what type of patient that it is. But there's really not a whole lot more medical going on until they land.
You guys also have some jets, I understand. Are those dispatched from here, or is that
Yes.
separate? That is.
We have one King Air turboprop and 2 Learjets. They're based out at the Allegheny County Airport, and usually the King Air, because of its flight range, we try to limit it within maybe about 450 miles or so of Pittsburgh. And then with the Learjets, we've literally gone worldwide with them. We've taken patients to Japan and the Middle East, and just about anywhere they want to go.
Right now, it's pretty calm in here. Are there times when it just gets absolutely crazy because you're getting so many calls at once, or is that uncommon?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you guys came at a pretty good time because we just finished our end of the month report for July, and I think we had probably close to 1,470 some requests, and out of that, probably close to 750 of those were helicopter transports.
Wow.
And then another probably 30 or so ground and fixed wing transports to go with it.
So every once in a while, I also hear they'll be bringing helicopters here to UPMC or whatever. And how many helicopters can you land here at once? Just one, or?
Actually, the helipad, which is outside the window across from us, is a 2-position helipad.
Oh, it is.
Right. So we can have, if you're able to see the lighting on there at night, the lights are turned on. That's into the primary, and then the part closest to us, where the building's blocking our view a little bit, is the park position.
Yeah, I've heard that. What is that? Is that just that's just one of the names?
Right. When an aircraft comes in, they make their approach into the primary position, and then if they're going to stay here and wait from their crew, they can transition over to the park and then just shut down. And then when they're done with everything they have to do, the crew, pilot, obviously the aircraft, can just take off and go back to their base.
I see you're monitoring the Weather Channel. Is that always on, and are you monitoring things online as well? Or are you making weather calls here for helicopters, or do they make the final call?
The flight crews themselves make the final calls. We do have resources available to us, like the Weather Channel, some internet programs, and also a program called WeatherBug. But the medical crews themselves make the final call. All three crew members make the call once they check the weather.
Okay.
It may not look like it, but you're watching the future of the Earth pass by. Because many of these products are made from materials you've been recycling. But to keep recycling working, you need to buy products that say, made from recycled materials. For all those next in line, it would mean the world to them.
On the big highway of life, there's only one safe place for kids. Backseat, baby. The front seat's not the place to drop out. Don't want that big old bag to pop out. Backseat, baby. Put that booties in the backseat. Backseat, baby. Have action kids you never meet. I'm here to remind you to put them behind you. Backseat, baby. Oh, look at here. Backseat, baby. You stay alive even when I drive.
Take Simmons.
Yeah. Give me Jones.
Anderson.
Smith.
Lightfoot.
Bishop.
Hernandez.
Swifka.
Harris.
Lavenger.
Peavy.
Yes.
And the game of life got a much better chance at getting picked for a cool job with great pay if you take algebra, geometry, and calculus. You need to know how math can improve your future. Demand it. Call NACME. We'll tell you.
So STAT MedEvac is not just helicopters that we see in the air. You guys also work with some airlines. Could you explain that program?
We do oxygen ordering and in-flight notifications for Delta Airlines. We do in-flight notifications for United Airlines. And we also have a company that we work with called the Rural Clinic, where we are kind of like an answering service for them, getting doctors from the Rural Clinic talking with their patients that they have. The oxygen ordering that we do for Delta Airlines is passengers that are going to be flying that need oxygen in the air. If they're emphysema patients, COPD patients, we will get the request from Delta, contact the passengers' doctors, and we will find out how many liters of oxygen they'll need during their flight. We order the oxygen for them so it's prepared and waiting for them when they get to the gate for their flights and travel.
Dave was telling me a little bit earlier that say something happens to a patient in flight, you're called?
Yes.
And what happens? What transpires there?
What they do is they can either call us from the aircraft or the dispatcher can contact us. Normally flight attendants will call us directly from the aircraft and state that they have a passenger that's ill on the flight. And what we'll do here is we'll connect them with the UPMC physicians.
So this could be a call coming from flying over Arizona or anything.
Hong Kong,
Wow.
Asia, anywhere.
And are you the sole provider of this?
For Delta Airlines, yes.
Wow.
We're their sole provider.
So then whoever they're contacted with here could potentially say, you know what, this person is really sick, bring the aircraft down now?
Yes.
And
What they'll do is, if the passenger's really in a state of need of being on the ground and have medical transport, then what they'll do is they'll divert the aircraft into the closest airport, have the EMS meet them on the scene there, and then transport the patient to the hospital.
wow. So that must all happen pretty fast, I would presume.
Yeah, it does. What the doctor here will do when they're consulting with the flight, first they'll check to see if there's any medical personnel on the aircraft. Consult with the medical personnel that's on the aircraft. In between the UPMC physician and the medical personnel that's on there, either a physician, a nurse, or a paramedic, sometimes even an EMT, will make a decision of whether or not they can continue in flight or if they feel the need to have the aircraft land.
Will they give any advice to say, well, you know what, it might not, but you can do this to help the patient, or you're doing things like that?
Absolutely. They have, on Delta and United Airlines, they have basic emergency medical kits, and they also have the enhanced emergency medical kits. So if it's not severe enough for the flight to land or divert into a city, then what they'll do is they can get into the enhanced medical kits. There's IV solutions. There are different medications, maybe painkillers or all kinds of different.
Who knew that there would be that something like that would be going on? But that makes sense.
Every year, people who care about the world's children trick-or-treat for UNICEF. This is how we do it. Hi, I'm NBA basketball player, Vlade Divac. The money we collect buys medicine, water, nutrition, and education. It saves kids' lives. This October, wherever you go, wherever you are, take the box. Call 1-800-252-KIDS or visit www.unicefusa.org.
Welcome back to Feedback. Well, that is it. We took a look at Stat Medevac's dispatch here at UPMC Presbyterian Hospital in Oakland. It was so much fun. Certainly learned a lot from it, thanks to Dave and Tracy and everybody up there. You know, they do so much for us, especially out at the Clarion base, out of the Clarion Hospital. Stat Medevac 6, I've been told it's called. So if you see it out there, you can call it by its official number. It was a lot of fun out here. We certainly, once again, thank them for everything they've done. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time on Feedback. Have a good night. I'm Mark Despotakis.